Hello, mate.
Hey, mate.
It's been ages.
I know. It's been ages since I've been on a mic.
It's been ages since you've been allowed to do anything other than work. And it's taken an injury.
Yeah, say again.
Taking you an injury to get some time off.
Yeah, well, I'd rather not have been injured.
Yeah, and only you could get injured by a door. So it's not a common injury.
It's not, no. But yeah, it's been a hectic new year, but I'm sure it'd be worth it in the long run.
Yeah. Birthday coming up as well soon. Old man.
Yeah.
Old man Remus.
Yep.
So
39.
30. It's an annoying one. A bit like me. 35, 39, annoying age. What do you get at a 39-year-old? Just wait until they're 40.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm not a big one on birthdays anyway.
To be fair. I actually prefer doing stuff for other people on their birthdays.
Yeah.
I prefer that. But it's just me, innit? It's just me. So I have noticed though, because we had a good long chat today, sort of typical me and you chat, random.
Yeah.
You've finally been able to watch telly.
Yeah, but I haven't been able to do a lot else. Yeah, caught up with a few bits. I can't say that I was that fussed, if I'm honest, on any of it.
Without it. Could do without it. Yeah. The big one, because everybody's talking about it at the minute, is obviously the Jimmy Savile doc. And I already knew all that from Louis Theroux.
Yeah, there's no new revelations, was there, on there? And to be honest, I just thought it was a bit shit. I thought it was a 2-part doc. Each episode was way too long.
So long.
And they could have spliced it up and put it in. They could have chopped back and forth from him doing his charity work and doing his molesting.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it was like the first one was focusing really heavily on his charity work with a slight sinister undertone, and then the second one touched a little bit on what a horrendous human being he was, but still didn't come off.
Yeah,
it was bad.
It was still like, look at all the charity work. Look at it.
And like, fair play, he did a lot of charity work, but that doesn't.
Do you know what I thought they were going to do? And I'm actually really disappointed they didn't. Was sort of touch on all the other, pardon the pun. Was sort of touch on all the other little cunts that were with him doing that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
In the celebrity world, I mean, like you've got fucking Rolf Harris, Gary Glitter.
Well, Gary Glitter was on there for a little bit, and it was what I didn't like is that they didn't they were sort of feeding the pony a little bit on look at what they were doing in the media. They were basically saying, yeah, I'm a nonce in the media.
Yeah.
To the public, and they were doing stuff like on TV shows, like just straight up kissing and being like real lechy on telly.
I was saying,
but it was almost like, yeah, that was just the time though. No,
it's not okay, hun. I was saying to Kate, I was like, just look how brazen he is at times. There's one where he's either on top of the pops or something like that, and he's literally grabbing the girl's ass, and she's squirming all over the shop. It's like,
but they showed it, but they weren't like, look how disgusting this man was.
Yeah, couldn't look more of a pedo though, could he?
Oh, they're horrible. Really horrible. Really.
That was the other thing I was saying to Kate as well. I was like, looking at him, yes, he was fucking an oddball. He was very eccentric, etc. But when it had like close-ups on his eyes, he literally had evil eyes.
Yeah.
Like you look at him and you go, there's something not right with that guy. He drove a mobile. He was a millionaire. There's a reason why you drive a mobile home, because you rape it.
Yeah.
Good.
It didn't really go into It didn't really go into depth though, even with the ladies that were interviewed that were
You
children.
thought they would have done a bit more on that.
Yeah, shit. It was just like,
And
not
also,
that I
blow the BBC up on that. You telling me they didn't fucking know? Bollocks.
the BBC, the royal family.
Yeah.
But I suppose they're just worried that. I mean, are they worried they just can't say too much? I don't know. I just think if you're going to do like an expose style documentary saying what a wretched human being this person was,
Yeah.
you've got to go all out. Surely you've got like, because I mean, maybe to an American audience that would be a bit like, oh, shock, horror.
Yeah.
But to us,
it wasn't until like the end. It wasn't until like the end where they went over 400 accounts of sexual assault and rape. You're like, that's a lot. What?
That's a hell of a lot.
And you haven't really touched on that. Really, there's a couple of interviews with a few of the victims.
Yeah, and the guy that
they didn't even mention. They must not have had like permission from Louis Theroux, because
Louis was on there.
He was on there because his two documentaries. Like the first one was like he didn't really know the ins and outs of him, and he was like, "No, you're a fucking weirdo. I'm going to do a follow up on that and really pick at you." Madness, mate.
I mean, I like Louis, but I've seen some of his more recent documentaries, and I almost feel like he's playing up to his persona now. I don't know if you've seen any of the recent ones, the American one. There's one with like extreme right wingers.
Yeah, I've seen the America's Most Hated Family.
Oh no, there's an even more recent one on.
Oh, is there that one? The girl that escaped from there. You escaped from your own family. She was on Rogan, I think. It was either Rogan or something like that. She was on.
I don't think she was on Rogan.
She was on something.
There was a girl on Rogan. She was the one that got accused of murder in Italy.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, that was another bonkers thing. So many bonkers things, mate. I love the word bonkers. The world is just weird, mate.
Yeah.
We're in a fucked up time. But yeah. But Steve Coogan is doing a bio. Is it? I can never say if it's
biopic.
If it's biopic or biopic. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. But yeah, Steve Coogan, apparently there was a released photo of him. I would look it up, can't be bothered. And apparently he just looks uncanny, like the same.
Yeah.
How
so I can see that.
They do that with so many. The casting of characters these days, top notch.
That's their job.
Yeah, I know, but look the same. Like Matey Boy that did Bohemian Rhapsody, Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Same head.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, that's their
but they shouldn't look
as a casting director.
Why do you look the same?
Well, they did it with Bronson, didn't they? Like Tom Hardy, even is it Tom Hardy?
Yeah, Tom Hardy.
Yeah. He managed to look like Bronson.
Oh, Charlie Bronson.
What do you want, Charlie? Well, what have you got?
Brilliant movie. Very underrated movie.
Yeah. That was one that Dad wouldn't watch because he said, no, I don't want to give him the fame that he has always wanted.
Just watch it.
Yeah. Top Gun's out. Well, out soon.
Oh, I can't wait. That is definitely a cinema job.
Yeah.
Sound is going to be fantastic.
Goose's son looks like Goose.
Yeah.
Skeptical on that one.
Skeptical hippo eyes. And yeah, it is right though, because obviously he's the nickname Maverick, and he was a fucking wrong, and he's definitely wasn't going to get promoted anytime soon, was he? Yeah. Still a captain.
Admiral Iceman.
Yeah, because that's what it is. You an ass licker, you get promoted.
Oh, is it?
Idiot.
So I saw on your story the other day some guy with a lot of medals. What's that about?
Oh, he is a absolute uber Walter Mitty.
Who is it?
His name is Baz Porter, right? I don't know him personally, obviously, but he is seriously he's messed up in the head, 100%, because
Is
he's
he
also breaking. Well, he's broken laws in America because he has done things over in America that is known as stolen valor. We just call it Walter Mitty's because we can't do anything about it over here. But he's done certain things over in America. I did read up on a little few. But the annoying thing is he's one of those creatures that did serve, but then over embellished everything.
Right. So why would that make any difference in America?
He was benefiting from false allegations of things that he's done during his time in the military. So basically, his chest full of medals, not only has he got him in the wrong order, in terms of he's got a Victoria Cross, and apparently he's one of 3 people that are living that have got that. It's a gallantry medal, a bit like the military cross.
Mm-hmm.
But the fucking thing is that is on record. You can go into libraries, you can go onto the military record list and type in who has been awarded the military cross, and it will come up with a list of the names.
Okay.
And he said, well, to protect my career, they can't issue that. And it's like, no, that's bollocks, because it comes up with your name, rank, and your parent unit. So even if he was in the SAS, for example, he would come up with his parent unit. It wouldn't say SAS. It would say RAF Regiment 15 Squadron, for example.
I see.
And that, because it's the highest medal you can get, that goes at the front. But he's got it underneath, which makes no sense.
Like, don't get me wrong, I don't claim to know. What would be the benefit of him lying about something like that?
Exactly. In his eyes, it obviously looks good on paper. And from what I've read, he was trying to do some good in the world. He was doing stuff for PTSD, depression, anxiety, a bit like quite a lot of us do. But he's then going on using false allegations, and then he has done a complete weird thing by going into the spiritual world and claiming, which could be all true, we don't know, that in a previous life he was a bodyguard to one of the Egyptian pharaohs. He was a member of the Crusades, etc., etc. And then he claimed, which again, this could be true, his wife and son were on the plane that hit the Twin Towers. Could be true.
So he's just grasping at anything then, really.
Basically anything and everything. And so he's got the Victoria Cross, one of the highest medals of gallantry you can get. He's also got the Queen's Gallantry Medal, which is given to civilians for acts of bravery. But nobody knows what he's got these for, because it's not real.
Right.
And then little silly things like he's got a Diamond Jubilee medal on there, which he served, according to him, he served from 95 to 2004. So you don't get the Jubilee medal until I think it was 2011, 2012.
Right.
It's like these silly things like that. And yes, he did serve. He served over in Cyprus for a little bit. Part of
he was on holiday then.
Yeah. Yeah, more or less. But what he's done is he's set up these companies on false pretenses and getting money off people for help with addiction and preying on vulnerable veterans, which is wrong, 100% wrong. But if he does have any of these sort of issues anyway, and he's trying to help, that's a good thing. But don't lie about your service, you know.
But surely, I can't wrap my head around it, because surely you know you're going to get caught out, because there are going to be people that observed with you that are going to be like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
You didn't get any of that. Surely.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happened. So what seems to have, what it looks like is that he's gone, right, I'm going to do all this and go to America because they won't know.
I see.
And then it's obviously got back to someone in the UK who's gone, fucking hang on a minute, that's a chest full. As soon as you've got a chest full like that, people look into it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I live in a town where there are people who have got genuine chest fulls.
Oh, apparently he was a DJ in Hereford for a bit. Baz Porter.
Barry
Porter.
Barry.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he did lots of like local pubs and clubs. Apparently, I was like, I don't remember anyone called Barry Porter, but I wouldn't have been clubbing back then.
I'll have a dig.
But yeah, he swindled a geezer out of some money apparently, and whatnot. Just not a nice bloke. But yeah, he's put some claims in that he was really good mates with John McAleese, and he was at his funeral and all this, and it's like, if you were mates with John McAleese, he would have known you were talking shit, mate.
Yeah, and also it was an open funeral.
Yeah. yeah.
Like, anyone can go to a funeral.
Yeah. But even in that photo as well, the photo that you saw, so this takes some super sleuthing. So he's got his shirt his jacket sort of open a little bit. If you zoom in, he's definitely got a sandy beret.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, like that's, I just can't understand.
There's records of you. It's easy to get the records of people that have gone on selection at different times. You just.
Yeah, I mean, even that though, like I don't. Obviously, I know people that currently serve. I know people who have served over the last 50 years there. It's like, why? Like, I just can't get my head around why anybody would try to make out that they did anything in the military, let alone one of the SF forces.
It's a strange thing, mate. It really is.
Especially if you know anybody that's ever done it, because the people who claim to do these things are the complete polar opposite of the people who have actually done it.
Yeah. Yeah. And what sort of definitely makes it worse is that this bloke he was part of what is now the Rifles.
Yeah.
For a very, very short period. Apparently he was a fucking shit
Green
cunt
jackets.
Yeah. He was a shit cunt when he served anyway. He was making up stories all the time anyway. So he's gone out and just carried that on. And
well, clearly,
as a former soldier, it fucks you off. You're like, why are you making it? Like when I got my shit and people were saying that I was walting, I was like, what am I literally walting about? I haven't made anything up. If I did, I'd make it alley as fuck. Wouldn't be like, oh, I went to Iraq and watched some open desert for a bit.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, I got into loads of firefights and pow, pew pew.
Yeah, it's odd. It's clearly like
it's got to be it's a mental thing. It's a
mental illness, and it's not.
It's
delusions of grandeur.
Yeah.
Weird.
It is weird, mate.
I don't know why you'd ever. I don't know why you'd ever. Like I said, there's enough people that serve with you that would call you out on your bullshit, wouldn't they?
Especially those that have served that are then starting to walt about. That's bad. But when it's the civvies that try and do it, it's funny because they mess up all the time. I had a bloke literally. I took him through training at work when I was doing the officer's role. I took him through training. And he was like, oh, you served, did you, mate? I was like, yeah, I did a little bit here and there. And yeah, and me. I was 2-para. I was like, all right, cool. I've got a few mates that were in 2-para. He was like, oh, yeah. I was in the. I was like, oh, what sort of time span did you? I was way back in the 80s and that. I was like, oh, cool. So you did Northern Ireland and the Falklands? He went, well, I was in Northern Ireland. I was like, oh, cool. And I went on and it was like, just, oh, cool. Took him as face value. Cool. Then little things just weren't adding up. And I was like, ah, do you still remember like your service number? Because I've got it like stuck in my head from all the times that I got a bollocking or whatever, or I was writing on kit. I went, 300444938. My service number is brilliant. Like little things just to try and get a little spark out of him. He's like, yeah, I can't remember mine. I was like, fuck off. You always remember. That's one thing that you would remember.
Yeah.
And it's like loads of things that he was like, oh yeah, I found it really funny once. So we were driving down the road in a vehicle, and I was like, oh, cool. And just being me, I was like, oh, was it a Wimmick? Was it? And he's like, yeah, Wimmick. I was like, you definitely didn't use a Wimmick in fucking Northern Ireland. He was like, yeah, my section commander got his head cut off by a wire, and then started laughing. I was like, why would you laugh? Why are you laughing about that? If anything. And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna dig here. So it'd been the 80s, maybe sort of early 80s. I was like, Dad would have still been doing jumps. I was like, when did you do your jumps? And he went, oh, I never actually got my wings. I was like, what?
But you're para.
Went, but you're para though. And he was like, yeah. Didn't do P company either. Or parachute company, he called it. I was like, so you didn't do P company? You're talking bollocks, mate. Get out of my face with your no teeth. And then he was on doing a night shift, and he was showing one of the other lads all his military photos, and they were all in desert stuff. I was like, we weren't in the desert. The only close time was the Gulf War, which would have been 91. He said he left by like 88 or something like that. So, wait, what?
I genuinely can't get my head around anybody. Look, because you're gonna get found out.
Yeah. With this Baz Porter though, I was like, oh, I wish that I'd like found him sooner. I've seen a few clips of him on YouTube and whatnot, talking absolute trash. And I was like, I wish I'd found you sooner to like get him on and poke the bear and then call him out while he was on. That would have been a brilliant episode. But it's mad. It's mad. Madness.
Yeah. So both our teams are doing shit at the moment, aren't they?
Mate. I'm just waiting for next season now. I've wrote this season off.
Yeah.
The way we played against Leicester, and then who did we play the other week when we lost? Everton,
yeah.
The annoying thing about the Everton game was we were starting to screw the nut, as it were. We were gaining lots of possession, and then they got a lucky break and scored and it was a fucking lucky goal because unfortunately it's come off Maguire, who's had a terrible couple of seasons, and it's gone in, and then we literally couldn't do anything after that. But I'm watching the game and we've got a load of possession. We're passing the ball around, boring football. And every time there's an opportunity to get the ball in the box, it's literally just Ronaldo in the box.
Yeah, Rashford seems a bit.
But again, he had a couple of decent opportunities, and Pickford made some brilliant saves. It's one of those games. And how we're even seventh, I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
The weird thing is, like, you haven't got a bad squad. Like this manager that you've got in at the moment, it was a weird appointment. That was
strange in itself. But as I've said to a few people, it's as though it's a team of individuals and we're not a team. Like on paper, we're we could be up there on paper. And then you
Yeah.
watch them play, and you're like, how? It doesn't make sense. And then your lot have been playing fantastic football, and then get 2 shit games in a row. Brighton and
Palace. I'm in a few Arsenal forums and that on Facebook, and like it's as bad as the Arsenal TV.
Oh, is it?
Things, yeah.
There's
Honestly,
some terrible supporters, but I think that happens with all clubs.
I don't see it as well. Maybe because I'm an Arsenal fan, but I don't see it as bad. I mean, have you seen what Xhaka came out and said?
No, I haven't. No.
That like after his whole captaincy thing, he said, because obviously the season ticket holders are where they are, and he said he never wants to experience it again, but he has seen it since that incident where he threw the armband and whatnot, of just absolute anger and hatred towards him. And after the Brighton game at home, he said he saw the same people doing the same thing to him as they walked off the pitch. And like, I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon of certain teams not getting the rub of the grain with VAR, but I mean, we don't seem to get a lot of good fortune when it comes to VAR, and it was a bit of a dodgy one.
Yeah,
that it should have been left, because isn't it like clear and obvious? It's got to be.
Yeah, if it's a clear and obvious error by the referee, then...
but it wasn't. So I don't know. I don't understand why the VAR got involved, because it wasn't clear and obvious that there was a mistake.
Yeah.
And also, there's other factors that people don't take into consideration. Like, most of the Arsenal squad before the Palace game were on international duty in some capacity.
Yeah.
Saka unfortunately got COVID, but most of the players were on international duty. Most of the Palace players and most of the Brighton players were not on international duty. So, I mean, you hear people saying they're professional players, they should be playing 3 times a week. But it's like, shut up, mate. Like,
you play 3 times a week.
You play 3 times a week and train 5 days a week.
Yeah, it's a strange one, mate. Because obviously
it's only 7 days, but you get what I mean. Like,
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But yeah, because United had it when complete opposite though. So we had like 15 days off or whatever it was. It was like some sort of winter break that I've never seen before. But in between that, there was like an FA Cup game or something like that, or the League Cup final as well. So they had a massive time off, and they play in the next league game, and it was like, why are you so lethargic? Why are you? But then you also get sort of game rust, I guess. But do better. But yeah, I get what you mean with the VAR. So United had it, pardon me, against Middlesbrough with the handball that wasn't a handball because he handballed it. Then he put the cross in. Because it didn't go directly in, it wasn't classed as a handball. Yeah, but it was an assist to a goal. I got so confused. And they were trying to explain it, and I was like, I don't get it. And then Chelsea last night, very similar thing apparently, and they got theirs disallowed. Correct.
Yeah, I didn't. Well, at times, like, it does seem like that. I mean, I'm sure if I was Man City, Liverpool, I'd be looking at things differently. But I even look at it from the lower ranked clubs when they do play certain teams. You do get shit on by the VAR and the referees.
Yeah. And you'll probably see it. You'll probably see it tonight, mate, with City against Atletico. I hate the Spanish teams in cup competitions because because of their game management, and it's fucking annoying. Like little touch, they're down, rolling around.
Oh right, I see.
But in this game, they'll be putting in niggly fouls. They'll be winding up the players, and then no doubt Suarez or someone will score, and it'll be 1-1, and then more game management will come in. Time wait, and it's like, oh, fucking hell. Villarreal did it against United. Villarreal did it against Bayern Munich last night. Fucking their centre half, big tough centre half, was rolling around like a cunt. And there was another player, mate. Literally, the Bayern Munich defender came across, made himself big to shield the ball out of play. He got a little touch on like his chest, and he was rolling around as if he was forearm smashed by Khabib Nurmagomedov. That's not his name. That's not his name. But you know what I mean? He was rolling around. He was like screaming, and I was like, "Get up!" I wouldn't know how to do that.
I could never get my head around that.
Hate it.
And I don't even like it when they say that's just the modern game.
Yeah, I hate that.
On basketball.
Yeah, it's what I was saying the other day to it was Chalky, in fact, because he was saying, "Oh, yeah, Man City, Liverpool, new biggest rivalry. It's the greatest rivalry in the Premiership." I went, "What? Well, it's not a rivalry, though, is it?" Yeah, they play the best football. Yeah, they might play the best football that the Premier League have seen for a long time. I can probably argue that Arsenal probably played better football at times back in the day with Wenger. Sexy football. I went, but it's not a rivalry. They're hugging and kissing at the end of the game. I went, you couldn't see Ferguson going up to Martin Keown after the game going, fancy a chat and whatever.
It's not going
to happen. I'm pretty sure that Wenger actually said no to go into the manager's office for a glass of wine at the end of the game. Cool.
Yeah.
That was a rivalry.
Wenger's ripped at the moment. Have you seen that? 72.
So ripped, mate, for 70.
72.
I've got spies.
Okay.
I don't know which one that is. Got little heads popping up in the window. Little creatures. But yeah, he's ripped, mate. Wish I was ripped. Just fat. Oh, drinking a Brewdog, mate.
Yeah. How's that going?
It's all right. Don't mind a bit of pale ale. Pale ale. Yeah, don't mind that. I'll tell you what I mentioned to you the other week, and I said we'd touch on it at some point. I know you don't really like talking about work, but obviously is it Burnt? I can't remember what the movie's called now.
No, that's a different film. Boiling Point.
That I thought, right? Generally, I thought that was a good movie, and I enjoyed the way it was shot.
Yeah. It was
as though you were there in the kitchen and dining room.
Yeah, and it is a good insight into how the whole hospitality / catering industry works. And I tell you what, for someone like myself, it was actually quite stressful. Like speaking to people at work, it's like I kind of wish I had watched it. It was stressing me out watching it. And also, if I was a postman, I wouldn't watch a film on postman.
Yeah,
it kind of gets glamorized with the likes of Ramsey, etc. Salt Bay on Instagram.
Hate that guy.
I think to get a true sense of what it's like, it is a good film, but you're also better off reading quotes by Anthony Bourdain or Marco Pierre White, because the way, I mean, when you see Ramsey shouting and screaming and stuff like that does happen, but it's a lot of that's for the cameras.
Yeah, that's his sort of persona, isn't it?
Yeah, and also like some of the things you see on is like kitchen nightmares. Like those things do happen. Like things get missed in a fridge, or some idiot hasn't rotated your stock or whatever. But 9 times out of 10, you'd like to hope that a decent restaurant is pretty much 99% of the time on top of all that sort of stuff. There's a reason why it's called kitchen nightmares. But yeah, Boiling Point is good, and I forget the Scouser that plays
Stephen Graham,
the
class.
yeah, great acting. Well, great acting from everybody, and it does like it's funny because
I enjoyed the oops. I just butt in then, didn't I? No, oh, he's thrown it.
Oops.
The front of staff coming back to the kitchen.
Front of house staff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That definitely happens, doesn't it?
Yeah. Some of the arguments they were having, like when the customer said the lamb was too pink, and all of the kitchen are turning around going, "Fuck off! That's how it's served." So that's not how they want it, but that's how it's served. Like that happens more. I mean, I'll see if I can give you a couple of examples with it. Like I said, I don't really like going into.
Yeah, I get that. That's work.
Like not. Well, it's not even that. It's just I don't want to say anything on a podcast that maybe puts down either the industry or work, because it's not like some of the stories that you have. It's not like I would share it with people that I work with, but it's not something that.
Yeah, I get that.
But like we had some wings come back the one time because they were too small.
Huh?
Yeah.
What do they want? A pterodactyl wing?
And no, well, I turned around to the server that brought them back, and went, what do you want me to do about that? Because the next 4 or 5 wings that get put in that fryer are going to be the same size. I can't make the chicken grow; it's dead.
Yeah.
I could understand if they said the sauce was too salty, or the hot sauce wasn't hot enough, or something like that. But my chicken wings are too small. What? But you do, like, genuinely, like who was it that said it? Jim Carrey. He came out and said that like he couldn't understand why people go to restaurants and shout and scream at floor staff or complain about the food. I mean, I get it. If there's something wrong with your food, then you're more than within your rights to complain. But he said you might as well go and stay at home and shout at your microwave if you're just going to be a cunt when you go out. And you'd be surprised the amount of people and reviews that, I mean, they're public reviews. You can always have a look on TripAdvisor for them. But you see some of the shit that people write.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen that. You might not see things like this because obviously pages that I follow now. But one, well, I've seen it with different things. One was soup, one was coffee, and it's like the name of the restaurant, home of the worst coffee that one TripAdvisor has ever had. It's like people will go and they'll be like keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
About it's like what one person said that they're. Well, I'll give you two more. Do it. One was a food blogger that came to our restaurant during lockdown when we were just doing takeaways. He'd never had our burgers before. Obviously, we were banging out a hell of a lot of takeaways during that period. It was, and still to this day, I think it's crazy considering we were in a pandemic and people were being told to keep yourself as healthy as possible, and we were busier than ever. Getting all the burgers, mate. But in his video blog that he did, he said the burger was nice, blah blah blah. The ambience wasn't very good in the restaurant. The ambiance. Yeah, but you couldn't go in, mate. It was a takeaway.
So it's not like he's gone in on a Cowboy Wednesday, sat down to get his cowboy boy. Cowboy boy?
No, the restaurant was
But the restaurant
was closed.
closed.
You couldn't sit
So he's
in.
ordered a takeout. So he's not in. He's not in there ordering a takeout.
No, because we couldn't do it.
Of course not, idiot. So he's ordered a takeaway and then put the ambiance of the restaurant wasn't up to my standards. You weren't even in it, you fucking jumped up cunt.
Well, but no, but that's
is that his job?
Example. Well, I don't know if he just does it part time, a bit like this.
He probably shouldn't do it.
There was another one that we had not long after we'd reopened, and obviously everyone's wearing face masks, saying that one of the servers didn't smile. They've got a face mask on, mate. You can't
face mask.
Honestly, this is the problem with the general public being able to just write whatever they want, and it does. For a long time when we first opened, it was something that the boys especially were like really like, they put themselves under a lot of pressure with the restaurant being the number one on TripAdvisor, and we reached it a couple of times, and because of TripAdvisor's algorithms, is weird because we get so many reviews, whereas some people don't.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah,
so it knocks you up and down all the time. But if you imagine how horrible that is, to think that, like, yeah, we are the top restaurant at the moment, and then you get a 1-star review. Like, we got a 1-star review from a pop-up that was nothing to do with the restaurant, yet somebody thought, well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put on my commenting gloves and I'm going to sit there and type away. But it's somebody's business at the end of the day. If you're just having a moan and a whinge, what's the point?
Yeah,
and I'm not saying
you could have a moan and a whinge on Facebook. You don't have to stick it on a site that reviews, if that makes sense. Have a moan and a whinge, sure. We all do a moan and a whinge.
But I always think it's crazy the amount of people that they'll eat at your restaurant, and this isn't exclusive to us. It's anywhere. They'll eat at the restaurant. They'll say nothing,
and then
while
go
they're
home.
there. And then they'll go home, and then they either send a shitty email, or they write a shitty TripAdvisor or Google review or Open Table review, and then you think, well, hang on a minute. Like, if you'd said something while you were there, they could have done something about it at the time. But they could have sorted you out with some drinks. If you weren't happy with your food, you could have sent it back, and we could have recooked it. Why would you sit there, wait until you got home, and then complain?
Because I can guarantee that one of the waiter staff, whatever you want to call them, they would have gone around and said, "Is everything okay with your meal?" Because that's what you do. I know that from when I worked way back when. You'd go around and go, "Is everything okay?" And if there isn't, then you go, "Oh, sorry, can I sort that out for you?" And you take it out and get it sorted.
Yeah,
done. But it's a strange.
It's the culture of today, though, isn't it? It's like everything's online. It's less confrontational to just go home and write a shitty. Well, you'd think it'd be less confrontational. So some of the things that people say about people, that whether it's floor staff or whatever, because I don't think they realise that those people get pulled up on it. It's like, who was this person? Can we identify who it was? And then they get a bollocking for it.
Yeah.
And it might be complete. It might be that, like, I always think it's like, if you're just having a shit, like, also, who the fuck goes out? This is why I don't want to talk about work too much. So, but who the fuck goes out? Like, the amount of people I see that come in and they've got a face like a slapped ass, and they've got every intention of something's going to be wrong.
Yeah,
haven't they? And I just don't understand that. Like, if you're going out for a meal, you're going out for a meal. Do you know what I mean? Somebody else is cooking your food for you. Yeah, and like I said, unless there's an actual problem, like somebody is genuinely rude to you at your table, or that your food is completely wrong, like, what are you moaning about? you had the opportunity to go out with your friends, family, whoever.
Yeah,
Surely the intention for that is to go out and enjoy yourself.
100%.
But honestly, you see it all the time, and it's not exclusive to us, and it's not
I've ever
exclusive
gone
to.
out and thought. I don't think I've ever gone out for a meal and gone, "Well, this is shit." I've had it. I've had it on a takeaway. Don't get me wrong, where it's turned up and it's like, "Oh, this is shit. This is shit." That's a takeaway.
Yeah.
I haven't gone to a restaurant, even a fucking beef eater or a harvester or anything like that, and gone, "This is inedible. I can't eat this."
Yeah, but you.
I don't have the palate.
That much.
No, I don't
care that
because
much.
I'm also not out there going, right, I'm gonna fucking hate this meal. I know it.
I do remember once, a few years back. I won't mention the eatery, but it's not far from my house, and I went there and stupidly ordered a steak. And it's not the type of place that you want to get a steak from. Basically, a bit of a chain. So I ordered the steak, asked for it medium rare. It was more than well done. And I did do a bit of a cunty move, whereas I wrote on my napkin. I cut it in half, didn't eat even the chips, wrote on my napkin, "This isn't medium rare, chef," and just left it. And I went home.
But that's not understandable. I'm not going to have you do that, mate. That's bang out of order. But also, if it's not cooked right, then 100%.
I think with that, I waited quite a while.
Oh, that's even worse.
Like a long time, and I'm not one for moaning about how long food is, especially if you're told
you're not.
We're busy, and there's
that's
going to
an
be
annoying thing, though, isn't it? As well, when you can see that, especially like the restaurant that you work in, where it is busy pretty much all day, and it's like you can see we're busy. We're fucking we're uber stressed back here getting this stuff out to you, and you're just going to be cunty. That's fucking annoying.
Yeah, I mean, I can sort of see. I can only go from our restaurant because what I think a certain amount of people that come to us are just going out for a burger, and they don't understand that we cook to order.
Yeah, they're thinking that it's like a fast food chain.
Yeah, and with some things we can, others we can't. Like if they order chicken thighs or chicken breasts, we can't rush those. They've got to be. It has to be cooked.
Yeah,
properly.
Otherwise, you can't get food poisoning.
Yeah, but yeah, I think in general, like I don't know if the pandemic maybe disrupted this a little bit, but I kind of look around. Most of the time, people are happy to be there. They're posting their pictures on Instagram and stuff. But I find, and it's probably not just like I find people rude, like really rude. Like you just go to your Tesco Express, and did I tell you about the lady I fell out with in Tesco's?
No, but I want to know.
So I was in Tesco. I was just getting, I don't know, some cucumber or something, whatever I was getting. And there was this woman, right, and she was wearing what I can only describe as like country style, like winter weather hunting gear.
Got you. I know what you're saying.
But she lived local to where I live, so you don't need to wear that.
Yeah.
She had like pink Barber wellies on, a big rimmed hat, like a rain hat.
No need because sunny or something.
No, like it was bad weather, but I don't understand those hats unless you're literally doing stuff on the land. There are other hats you could wear that don't require wax. And she had like this big, like full length. I don't know what the kind of jacket would be, but you'd imagine her husband to wearing a Barber wax jacket with her.
Oh, I hate those.
But do you know what I mean? Like the full length raincoat.
Like they should live on a farm or something.
Yeah, had her mask on, and I was behind her in the queue. Now you can tell me if I'm being a dick here.
I'm sure I will if you are.
I hear who's next. She moves forward. You've been to Tesco Express to the magazines and starts going through the magazines and picking magazines up and looking. I've got a cucumber. The lady then said,
which is
wait,
what, 60p?
Whatever. It's whatever. I've got one item. She's got a basket and she's over looking at magazines now. She's not just looking at magazines, she's taken them off the shelf, having a quick thumbsy through, and she's clearly going to buy one. So you're not next, are you?
No.
I'm next.
You're still shopping, kid.
Thank you. So I went to the counter. Boop. Cucumber goes through, and I hear, excuse me, I think I was next. I went, and I did this. You're getting magazines. I think I literally just finished work as well, and I think I still had a bit of chef head on. I went, you're getting magazines. Bear in mind, this is an older lady, and she didn't probably appreciate the Turbo Viking in front of her. And I was like, you're getting magazines. She went, en route.
En route?
Yeah. And I went, nah, you're still shopping.
Yes.
And she went, huh, rude. I went, no, you were still shopping. So you're not next in the queue, are you? And then she said something else. I think I just turned around and went, oh, shut up. And obviously I just went, dee, walked off and paid. I couldn't believe it. I was like, rude. Like, that's rude.
I bet you having a conversation with yourself all the way home.
Oh, no, but no, that was the that's one of the only times I've ever just been like, no, hang on a minute. No. You weren't next. You were still shopping.
Yes.
There's no different. It's no different to you. Yeah. I mean, the look annoyed me, but there's no different to you going up, like you go into where the magazines are and picking up the magazines and thumbing to going up another aisle and getting a loaf of bread. You're doing the same fucking thing. You're not in the queue.
You're still shopping, kid.
And don't wait for her to beep my cucumber to then turn around to me and go, I think I was next.
Oh, well. There's my pound.
That already happened. So it doesn't matter if you were next.
Yeah,
this transaction is almost complete.
Thank you very much.
It's one item.
In the bag.
Just carried it, I think.
Oh.
Like a baton. I should have hit her with it. Just on the arm. Just on the arm. Just
a fucking full-on backhand with a cucumber. Fuck.
No, nothing too violent. Just a little tap on the shoulder as I walk by. Just gone. Just. Fucking idiots.
You know one thing I never asked you?
What's that?
Where did the love for cooking come from? You've always seemed to be pretty good at it. Or was it just something that you just took to naturally?
I don't know. I always liked getting involved when Mum was cooking. And I think it's you know how some people can just naturally draw or paint and they know what colours to go with what.
Yeah. Not me.
I find that I think taste is a similar quality. Like, you know how something should taste. And yeah, just recreating food that tastes nice is always been something that hasn't been like a challenge, if you know what I mean. It's not something that, like, some people just can't cook, and they like when they taste things, they don't recognize that it tastes shit. Like Dad.
Yeah, he's a good example.
No, because he's got, I mean, he's got a lot better, but he doesn't necessarily see food as something to enjoy. He doesn't enjoy a meal time. He doesn't enjoy sitting down and chatting over the food. And
that's something that he needs to just live and then continue on with his day.
It's almost like it gets in his way. But I mean, that's not to say that there aren't food that he enjoys.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh, does he love a crusty roll sandwich?
Crumbs everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. Does he clean it up?
No.
He does not. He does not. Do you know something else that he's well? We've always got to have a Tom section. Do you know something else that he still does to this day that he did when we were kids? First off, this is an interlude into what I'm about to say.
I'm excited.
Do you remember Dad always had his chair?
Yeah.
How did he fuck it up so much?
I don't know.
Do you remember how fucked the cushions were?
Yes.
And like, Dad went to a stage in his late 40s, early 50s of being quite a big bloke. He was never that big.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Not to destroy a chair like he did.
I mean, it was fucked. Do you remember those shit pink sofas?
The little ones.
Oh, I hated them.
And I used to sit on the arm of it. Just to be close. Just to be loved.
But I tell you what Dad does at my house that drives me fucking mad is he'll sit on the sofa, he'll watch some old program that he's seen 47 times.
John Wayne.
Sometimes John Wayne, sometimes Law and Order.
Slapping women.
Yeah. He messes all the cushions up because I've got like soft back cushions, haven't I?
Yeah, yeah.
Leaves them. And they're all squashed down, out of shape, and he just leaves them with his crumbs in his fucking newspaper.
He does make the quickest sandwich.
Do you remember fish? Was it fish paste? Crab paste.
Crab paste. Crab paste. Fucking love the paste. He used to get one. I can't remember what it must have been, like a beef fucking paste. But it literally is the paste that you get from a ration pack. The pate that you get from a ration pack.
I thought that was
taste.
turkey.
Horrid. There's a turkey and like another meat one. Horrid. They used to do a tuna and mayo sachet.
Oh God.
And you look at it and it's like, when was this made? And why is it still okay to eat?
Yeah.
What was the other thing that he did? You said about the chairs. He used to fuck up the chairs.
Oh yeah, he did. No, that was the interlude to him knackering up my cushions on the sofa. And I don't know what he does, but he always not. So I've got like the bit that comes out of my sofa. He always knocks the little stooly bit that supports that like too far out and never puts it back.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. For somebody that's like on the spectrum as much as him, those things just don't matter.
No, it's strange. Do you remember when we... It's just so stupid because we noticed that he would line his stuff up so that when he went to work, his wallet and keys, and then we decided if we line his coins up, eventually he will think that he lined his coins up, and then he started doing it. Oh, literally 1p. Why did he have so much change?
Pub.
I hate change. I suppose back then didn't have a beep.
No.
Hate change, mate.
I hate cash.
It's like, why don't you take card now? But
I think
it's also take card, but also I'm not going to get Bitcoin because I don't trust it. Don't trust that shit. And NFTs, don't get it. Hey, people that think I'm more famous than I am, start going in my fucking requested emails on fucking Instagram offering me NFTs. Don't know what it is, and I'm not famous.
Yeah,
I had one. I had one earlier. They had a grand total of 40 followers. Mazel tov to you. Yeah. Would you like us to promote your page? To who? Who are you promoting it to?
They're bots, aren't they?
So I put no, and then they came back. Are you sure? We can get you. Well, I don't know what. I just put no. And they put, hey, darling, why not?
Some cunt from Russia.
I went, stop it. Just stop. Motherfuckers. That's a strange situation, isn't it?
What's that?
Mr. Putin. I haven't actually spoke about that on here at all.
Because I don't really know enough.
Because I don't know enough about them. I know he's a nutter, sure. And I know that the other guy was a stand-up comedian.
Was he Paddington Bear?
Yeah, Ukrainian Paddington Bear.
Not.
He did the voiceover. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know enough about it.
So many conspiracy people keep popping up. And because I've looked at a couple just to go, what's this? I now get inundated with these fucking things. Like, it's not Russia that's invading. It's, well, they did invade, but now Ukraine are doing stuff in Russian uniforms. And I was like, what?
Like false flag shit.
Yeah. Like they're putting on the Russian uniform and then killing civilians.
Why?
But what? But for what gain?
Why would they do that? They didn't want the Russians there. They want more support.
Fuck knows.
Also, I don't fully understand. Like, why are NATO not helping?
Because I don't know. I'm going to speculate and say because they don't want the full power of the Russian might. That's just a observation, maybe. They don't want World War III. But the reason why Ukraine isn't a NATO country is because it's so close to Russia.
Yeah, understand.
That exactly. I'm like that. Some of the lads talk about it. I'm like, I'm going to pretend that I know. I'm just going to put laughing faces. Yeah, I know. I don't know. I don't know. I make up words. That's what I do.
Yeah. I don't really understand that. I know from things I have heard, Putin's a bit like, he was born in the Soviet Union. He sees all of those countries around Russia as part of what he should have.
Yeah.
Because he still sees the Soviet Union as it was, or that's how it should be. But again, like, I haven't heard Putin say that, so
I haven't heard him say anything. Which is one of those where you get your little skeptical hippo eyes. It's like he hasn't said much, and all we're getting.
I can sort of see why he wouldn't say much, though.
Yeah,
because if he keeps banging on, eventually some of the countries are going to turn around and go, he's gone mad. We need to get it. We need to go get him.
It definitely won't be Biden because he literally is mad.
Well, he's not mad. He's senile.
He's a puppet.
He also makes up words.
Yeah, we would get on.
No, I don't think you would.
No. Did you see him? You may have done. I don't know. Did you see him when he was at some sort of conference thing and Mr. Obama was there and he completely blanked him?
No, I didn't see that.
He like goes up and is like, oh, hey, like trying to get his attention. He just keeps like turning his back on him and talking to other people. It's like, hey, dude, Biden is the president, or is he? Conspiracy theory. There's loads going on about going full circle here. There's loads going on about fucking Disney as well, isn't there? Pedos.
Yeah. Also
make good movies. So.
The heir of Disney has just come out as trans.
Oh.
And has donated like so much money to the LGBTQI plus community.
What do they need money for?
I don't know. Well, I don't know, like charities and stuff for
Flags,
people
mate.
that have been.
Oh, I can't remember. It must have been on Rogan, I think. He was like, when did the gay community get the rainbow? When did they get the monopoly on the rainbow? Because that used to be the Lucky Charms.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. And if flags make people happy, then get flags. No, but you know what I mean. Like, if that makes you happy,
yeah,
and makes you feel a part of something, then fine.
But yeah, I went down on one of those.
I don't need a flag
you don't need a flag, mate.
Anything. I don't think.
But I went down one of those rabbit holes, mate, about Disney.
Yeah.
That's what I keep getting now. Conspiracy theory stuff. Apparently, if you do that, right, cover your eye and that, the all-seeing eye, and me doing that now, I'm now part of the Illuminati. So, because it's a 6, so and 666, so they all worship the devil, who's not real. But yeah, Disney. Apparently, they got loads of hidden stuff in their movies.
Disney have always had hidden stuff,
and
in their movies.
It's all about child sex trafficking and pedos and.
Oh, so somebody's got like
too much time on their hands to go through all these movies.
Somebody's in their mum's basement eating Cheetos, getting stoned. I mean, I get some
taking
conspiracies.
Acid. Some of them, mate. Some of the movies, I can go, yeah, I could see that.
I mean, I've always questioned why. I've always questioned why most of the Disney main characters are orphans.
They're either orphans or strong females.
But that's just like I could probably sit for hours and find.
Oh yeah, you could. But if you're looking to find it, you'll find it. But obviously, the big one that stood out was to me when I was going through stuff, because you don't want to get stuck in a rabbit hole. You're going to go down the rabbit hole a little bit. And it definitely was Pinocchio, where he literally says we're trafficking little boys to Pleasure Island. Yes. And then Pinocchio turns into a donkey. So I didn't get that bit. But and then there's Peter Pan and Captain Hook. Yeah. Captain Hook is trying to save the kids and Peter Pan's trying to steal them. Because Captain Hook never goes after the kids, the lost boys, does he? He only ever goes after Peter Pan. Forever young.
Maybe he was his special boy.
Maybe he was his special boy. Too many nonsense in the world, mate. Too many.
Yeah.
That was a full circle.
It was. It was a impressive full circle. I was going to say something else about. Oh, right. Speaking of, like, this isn't a conspiracy theory.
Okay.
It's not. How the fuck are our politicians getting away with this shit?
Oh, I don't know, mate. I saw that thing. I think birth.
I'm sorry, I had a lockdown part. You made the rule, you dickhead.
Yeah. There's no saying sorry. Resign. You and your matey boy that's put all the fucking house prices and energy prices through the fucking roof.
Yeah, and is
earning the profits because his fucking wife is doing something with the energy. I don't know.
Yeah, but hasn't she got ties to Russia, which we're supposed to be freezing all of the
Yes.
Oh, fucking
Can't do it, mate.
right.
Can't do it.
She doesn't look very Russian.
No, she doesn't.
I don't get it. I just don't.
I read somewhere, right, that a lad had a party. He was at, we'll say Manchester Uni. I can't be 100% certain where he went. So he had this party. He then got fined by the government, and then he got kicked off his course and kicked out of uni. So he's basically got rid of his fucking degree, ruined his fucking career, life, whatever you might say. And then matey boy just says sorry, and it's like, oh, okay, it's fine. You're the prime minister.
I still go back to it though. Like, at what point? Like, I get it that people who go to posh schools and that, and they get into circles and blah blah blah. But at what point did the voting public start looking at leaders like that and be like, yeah, that'll do?
Yeah.
Now I know we're misled by their campaigns, and I mean this is a fucking serious podcast, but we are misled by them quite on a regular basis and by the news stations, and you know they give us the information that they want to give us, you know, other than sounding like a complete whack job on the internet and listening to conspiracy theorists. I mean, what else are you going to go by? But at what point did anybody look at Boris Johnson and go, he looks like he knows what he's doing? He brushes his hair with a fucking balloon.
Yeah. I think.
Do you know what I mean?
He
Like,
did have a lot of
fucking
false promises, didn't he, from the NHS and that, and everyone was going, yeah, we'll go with him. And I think he was one of those ones where he was the lesser of two evils, because you had fucking communist Corbyn.
Yeah, but he's not a communist.
No, but he's
is
a cunt.
I mean, he might be a cunt.
Mate,
how is he any more of a cunt than fucking Boris Cunting Johnson?
I think it was to do with his ties with the IRA and things like that.
Yeah, maybe, but I mean,
that was my understanding. That's why I didn't really like him. But also,
Boris Johnson.
Yeah, he did all right in London.
But I mean,
there, didn't he?
No, he fucking didn't. He spent fucking £1 million on like a fucking, what they call it, a slide.
Brilliant. Oh, is that
like a shrine to him?
The Olympic slide thing.
Yeah, that's a lot of money for a slide.
Shit as well. We'll see that when we go to the Chili's.
It's
only around the corner. Chili's.
But I just don't understand. I mean, just on. I mean, look at the Ukrainian guy. Like, if we got invaded by, I don't know,
Ireland.
Fucking Wales, whoever, like, if we got invaded, Boris Johnson strapped on a fucking armored vest,
he wouldn't be out there, mate.
Well, of course he would be, but I just don't know where to. Maybe it was because like the badass leaders ended up being too. Well, no, because like he's a fucking megalomaniac anyway, Boris Johnson.
Yeah,
he wants to take out like Brexit. Fuck me, what? Leave means leave. Yeah, I know, but what?
Yeah,
show me the benefit, please. Like, and I'm not even politically wound up, but it's one of those that you look at and go, what? So, I mean, if we kept everything internal, we probably starve, because of too many people and not enough land to grow shit on and stuff. But also all those fishermen, Spiderman, like, if they can't export what they're catching,
there was no real strategy to it, was there? You could get where they were coming from, where they wanted Britain to be out of the European Union, which
Paying
fine
for
if you don't
shit.
want to be governed by European law, cool. But also, you can't just leave and then not negotiate shit. And then just
I mean,
wait till the actual day and go, oh shit.
But I mean, they did. They did do that, didn't they?
Yeah. And then, well, we can use now, for example, mate, down here, being so close to the fucking crossing, they've literally used part of the M20 as what I call op standstill, which is not its name. It's basically a giant lorry park because lorries can't get over or get back over to Europe for whatever the fuck reason. There's fucking hundreds of thousands of lorries parked up, waiting.
I mean, something ain't right, because I mean, I walked past like three petrol stations the other day. None of them had petrol. Then you go inside and there's so much shit just not on the shelves, and it's like, yeah.
Yeah, that was funny for a bit, wasn't it? The everybody going mental about petrol. Well, the petrol shortage. You're not. You've just got no drivers.
Well, it's the same as toilet paper, isn't it?
Yeah.
People just don't learn. People just do not learn. Put the same amount in as you normally would.
And the fucking
yeah. Again, is that the BBC, ITV creating a narrative?
The pedos at BBC controlling the narrative, causing panic and chaos.
And guess what? You're not talking about pandemic. You're not talking about Russia.
Is that still a thing?
Yeah,
you had it. You had it. I'm still undefeated.
Yeah.
Both the girls had it. Jess has had it twice now. She's living the dream. But even what's his face, the head of whatever in America, said like this new variant is its own vaccine. It's like, hang on a minute.
Oh mate, I don't listen to it. You talking about Fauci?
It's like, hang on a minute. You are pushing the vaccine, and people.
Oh, they've made their money now. Their money now.
This program is brought to you by Pfizer. Which I think I have. Do I have? I had something. I can't remember what I had.
I think I had Pfizer.
Oxford Zeneca or whatever it is. Who gives a flying fudge?
Well, Pfizer were they had one of the biggest medical lawsuits. I mean, they're still paying it. I think
they're the OxyContin people as well, aren't they? Pfizer. Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. But they had a anti-inflammatory, which is a bit like ibuprofen, that they literally knew would kill people, and they still put out.
Oh, there are some fucking horrible people in the world that literally just look at money.
Yeah.
It's like, you're killing people, yeah, but I've made money out of it.
That was my whole thing with the vaccine, and I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I've had it, but I was like, we don't know what this is going to do.
Yeah,
I mean, they're saying that in like young boys, it causes side effects like, I don't know, is it myocardosis, something like that?
You make them
which is a myo. Myocarditis.
There we go.
Also known as inflammatory cardiomyopathy. Is acquired due to inflammation. Inflammation of the heart muscle can include shortness of breath, chest pain, decreased ability to exercise. I don't know if you've seen many of the footballers getting problems with their breathing.
I was just about to say that.
Who would have had to have been vaccinated.
I have never seen people collapse in football matches as much as we've had done, especially likes of Christian Eriksen, but also people just randomly in the crowd.
Yeah.
When does that ever?
after a vaccine that they don't know the side effects, or they do know and they don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say, if the vaccine did help me, fuck COVID if I didn't have it. Because for a good 3-4 days, I was wiped out. But not with the symptoms that you think, though.
No. At least you didn't knock your taste out, by the way. Kind of need that for your job.
Fucking did.
Did it?
That's why I tested. Because I felt a bit shit, but it was not real COVID things. And then I had my dinner, and I was like,
uh-oh,
shit, I better get this thing up my nose. But yeah, weird, because I didn't get like the shortness of breath really until I was getting towards a few days that I'd had off, and then I tried doing a little bit around my garden, just cutting the lawn and stuff, and I was like, fuck. But mine was more like, the only way I can describe it was that my bones were aching.
That's weird.
Like lying on the sofa, just watching telly, it was like somebody, like I'd done some rolling and really hurt my hips, and I was like, why are my hips hurting? I'm laid down.
Yeah, that's weird.
But honestly, it was, but not agony, but like a real dull ache for hours that paracetamol, etc., just wasn't touching. It just wouldn't let up at all. And then my temperature was pretty through the roof the day after I tested, or the day of, I can't remember, that I tested positive. But I didn't feel hot.
That's weird.
I felt hot to the touch, but I didn't feel hot. I felt, if anything, I felt a bit chilly, which is again why I got the beep, and I was like, shit, that is high. That is borderline needing to go and run a cold bath and lie in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucked. And
it's weird because
I don't know if I've had long COVID as well, because brain fog is one. I asked George to turn on the hot fridge the other day. I meant the oven.
The hot fridge.
Yeah. Like weird. Stupid stuff like that. And I just haven't felt 100% healthy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like I've got a cold, but I haven't got a cold.
Yeah.
So
me and Kate.
I mean, they did come up with a good one in that lab, didn't they?
They did. Fucking pricks. Yeah, me and Kate got ill, and we tested because we were man down. It's just a massive, horrible cold. And then the girls were like mincing about, and they were like, "Oh, I feel a bit shit." And I was like, "Oh, well, they didn't say shit, obviously." I was like, "You probably got what Mummy and Daddy had." And then Jess was like, "No, I feel really bad. Can I test?" And we're like, "Fucking yeah, if you must. And you can test if you want. You don't have to test anymore." And we tested her, and there was nothing. Well, you couldn't see anything. And then Sophia did the same. Couldn't see anything. And then they mixed back. We didn't name them, idiots. So they mixed back their tests, and then we had a look. But it was about half an hour, 40 minutes later. There was a faint line. We were like, "Whose is that one?" So we had to do it again. And then as soon as we did the second test, they both went straight in. We were like,
mine did. As soon as I did it, it was like within minutes, and it was like a real strong line. Yeah. I mean, it's going to end up just being a cold, isn't it?
Sort of just waiting for it now. Kind of just want it just to get it over with. But also, I mean, still.
The thing is, I think I may have had it in the November before it all kicked off.
Kate thinks the same, because she went woman, like I've never seen her so ill.
Well, I was, yeah. Horrible.
Rats, mate. When are you back to work?
I'm going in tomorrow.
Who breaks a rib on a door? You do.
I mean, like, I don't know how you're thinking this happened, but basically I was holding another door open and somebody has opened a completely solid wood door. So they don't know that I'm the other side of the door, open as hard as they physically can. And the handle on the outside has gone straight under my rib cage. And pushed. Yeah.
Always injured.
Oh. I mean, I've had an injury. I was one of the few people to get through your football match without an injury.
Correct.
And I did the most fucking running.
All the running. Legs for days.
I had legs for days afterwards, though. I will say that. Yeah. I still can't get over that free kick. I've never experienced that before.
I don't think they found the ball yet.
Oh, it wasn't that bad. No, what I mean is when I stood to take it, I didn't know if my legs would physically be able to kick the ball. Yeah. They were so heavy. I mean, short subs probably would have been a better idea.
Probably. You can blame the
although I will say a good 5 or 6 players played a sum total between them of 10 minutes.
Yeah. Because I made sure we had enough subs to do some good roll-on, roll-offs. And there was a few dodgy injuries, aka brother-in-law, the whiskey cunt, Reece Stannard. Lasted 3 minutes. I don't even think he was injured. I think he just wanted to walk on the pitch and then come off. He got changed and went into the fucking stands.
Yeah.
Shit cunt.
What's he said? Have you asked him about it?
He said he pulled his hamstring. Did you though?
Maybe he did.
Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't.
Can I just ask a quick question? Your little Granite Zero plaque behind you with your football boot resting on it.
That one. Yeah.
Have you got a light hanging out of its mouth?
No. This, my friend, is Kent CBD.
Honestly, I thought it was a little light bulb, and I was like, "That shit. Why have you done that?"
Proud sponsor of the Granite Zero podcast.
Brought to you by Kent CBD.
It is. Mate, I've enjoyed this, but I'm also in a Fat Man is coming out. I haven't had my dinner yet.
Yeah, nor have I.
And I haven't seen Kate since we both got home from work. So
fair one. Yeah, I got to take Jack for a little trot anyway. I'm going to try and open the lungs a little bit now that I've just been sat down.
Good man. Well, always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Won't leave
also, a quick podcast recommendation for you. It's only on YouTube at the moment.
Go for it. It's
called Lifeline with Chris D'Elia and Matt D'Elia. They do it every Sunday, and it's a bit like the old Love Line.
Yeah.
People phone up with their problems, and I'll just give you an example. The other day, watch it tonight. You'll laugh. But basically, they said what the girl was asking: what would you do in a situation where you've got a friend that you've fallen out with, and makes it awkward when you go into a social situation when they're there? And Chris D'Elia replied with judo.
Just judo.
And then he goes on to explain it, but it was between him and Matt. It's brilliant because they're very similar, but yeah, it's a good podcast to check out.
We'll get on that.
Yeah. All right then.
Enjoy.
I will. Little Brown. Papa.
See you later.